Hello, everybody. I am back trying to see if my lighting is good. I was on before, but my lighting is just messed up. Trying my best to get this lighting regulated. I look very orange. Not particularly happy with the lighting. How are we doing? I hope everybody is doing okay. Yes. Hi to everybody that has jumped on. Thank you for coming on my stream. I do apologize for that in and out. Today, though, I particularly thought to talk about a topic that somebody suggested to me. Initially, we were going to do a duet, or, where I have a perspective from a male figure and a female figure. But if you are on and you have a different perspective, you are more than welcome to jump on and give your suggestions and what you think, or if you've had anybody who has experienced that, you are more than welcome to just tell like the details of what exactly happened, and if the friendship did last or if the friendship did end, etc., etc. So generally today I'm going to be talking about friendship. So you have friends. Obviously, every time you have friends, it's not like uh, they're married. Every time you have those friends, basically you're maybe single, or maybe you knew them from high school, or you knew them from church. And when you did know them, they were single and you were single, most probably. And after probably got married, the narrative changed, and maybe they changed towards you, especially when they have kids. Is a different perspective that people have when they have children, because the responsibility becomes more, because now they're not just thinking about themselves, as opposed to a single person. You find that you do think about others, but you don't have you have responsibilities, but you don't have the responsibility of taking care of another. So how how has that affected any one of you? Like, has your friendship changed since a particular friend or particular friends got married, males or females? Did your friendship change? Did you still act the same way around each other, or did they act the same way around you when they got married? Was it the same, or did they change? I'm single, and I have friends that are married, and I believe they're good people, and I just feel like when someone does get married and they have children, not just when they're married, but when they have children, I think the narrative changes, and people, tend to be more responsible because they have children now. So, like, as opposed to being single, you would just go to um, go out and recklessly just spend money, or you can go shopping and just spend that money without really thinking, or you just do anything. Single, not every single person is reckless, but you really don't think like, oh, okay, I have a child, I have this. Every time you're doing something, you're more selfish, because you're really just thinking about yourself. But when somebody is married, for example, they have responsibilities. They are married. It's no longer just about them, me. There is another person. So every time they try to do something, for example, if they want to go for a drink, now they can't just go for a drink because they have to talk to their hus- husband or their spouse, for example. They can't just, for example, buy anything, especially if they're sharing an account together. They always have to communicate when they have to spend their monies. Um, they can't just be reckless. So every time they have to do anything, they have to be mindful that they have a partner, and they have to let their partner know that this is what they want to do, and they have to discuss whether it's important for them to do that. I've had friends, and I feel like the friends that I've had, I've known them when they were single, and I still am friends with them while they are married. And our friendship has been phenomenal. Nothing changed, just maybe the fact that they are more responsible and they have kids. We still are able to go out, we still talk, we still call each other, etc., etc. Not as often as we would like to, but we still maintain a friendship that is very respectful. And we do have boundaries for each other. We don't just walk into somebody's life, thinking, oh, she's married, and you are expecting them to act the same way that they were when they were single. Of course, they're, they're their own person, but at the same time, you also need to just be mindful and have some boundaries because, things change. And if you are on the same level and you're not changing, then there's no growth happening in your life. So, what has happened? Like, if you have friends that are married and you're still single, have you guys still maintained that relationship with your married friends, or you guys cannot be friends anymore because of the fact that they just can't do it anymore, or because they are being respectful of their spouse? For you guys that have jumped on, like, is it the same for you? I've not had any problems with my married friends, to be honest. We get along pretty well. I feel like I actually get along more well with my married friends than with my single friends. And if I'm being honest, I don't really have a lot of single friends. I do have, but like they're not like as close as I am with my married friends. I actually get along pretty well with my married friends. They're the best. And I just feel like the talks that we have are more mature, decent, and we have that respect for each other. We have those boundaries, and even when we talk about things, there's always that sense of understanding. Like, okay, my friend is married, but we still are friends. We can still go out if we decided, okay, let's go out. We can do a vacation together. We can talk about anything, and I would not feel like uncomfortable to talk about certain things to them just because they were married. I just feel like you get married. I don't think anything should change. Only thing that should really change is the fact that you have kids. And, having kids is a blessing. It shouldn't be a curse. You know what I mean? And kids are a blessing from God. So if you have friends and they have kids, um, try to be more understanding that they're not single anymore and they have this responsibility. They can't just take a trip. Today, if I wanted to go to Las Vegas and take just a random trip, I would do it, right, in a heartbeat. But for a friend that is married, they have to go through their spouse and talk about, okay, I need a break. I just need to go out. And before they make the final decision to actually take the trip, it would take 1,000 no's for them before they get to a yes, because there are so many things that they need to push around in order for that trip to happen. Because remember, there are kids involved and there's a spouse involved. So how has the relationship with your married friend changed since they got married? Um, do you still have that same friendship, or did things change? With me, honestly, nothing changed, to be honest. Nothing changed. Maybe they're more busy, but they still make time for me. I still make time for them. We have talks. We actually are doing so much better than, if I talk to my single friend and I spoke to them about certain issues, it's almost like I get this type of feedback, like a judgment type of feedback. It's almost the same way I feel nowadays when I go to a church and I'm speaking to somebody about a certain situation. No offense, I'm a Christian, but I just feel like Christians are really judgmental towards each other, and it's just so disgusting and annoying. And as a result, and they're talking about how they want people to come to the body of Christ when they behave in this way. You know, who would you rather go to? Somebody that prays, or somebody who's an unbeliever, but they're showing you some respect and they're actually helping you? The thing with Christians, though, is that you'll be going through things and they'll tell you, oh, it is well. How can something, though, be well if I'm hungry? If I'm hungry and I come to you, for example, I'm hungry and like I'm going through a phase and I'm not able to buy food for myself, for example, and I'm really, really hungry. And then I talk to a believer friend of mine and I'm like, listen, sis, bro, this is what is happening and I don't know what to do. And immediately you talk to them, they'll just be like, oh, it is well. Like, are you serious? It is well is gonna put food on my table. Like when somebody talks to you and they share something with you, they're expecting you to reach out in your pocket. That's the only way you help somebody. If you say it is well is not going to solve the problem of a person. And that's the thing, that's the narrative that the believers have, which is really sad, to be honest. And so after being in that system, I still would be able to go to church, but I just feel like I don't want to be stuck up into what is called religion. I feel like I should just read my Bible and do what the Bible says and just do the right thing. Because if I am so fixated on what other believers are doing, I think I would flank at just being a child of God, you know. I would flank at loving, I would flank at forgiving, I would flank at doing all those wonderful things. Anyway, getting back into the topic, how has your relationship changed with your married friends since they got married? Are you still friends with them? Do you guys still maintain a relationship? Are you guys still, buddy buddy, or did your friends suddenly just give you the back shoulder and your friendship just, you know, made a turn out of events and it was kaput just like that? So do you still maintain your relationship with your friends um, that are married? And do you think that um, it's okay for a married person to be friends with a single person? And also, do you think vice versa? Do you think a single person can be friends with a married person without any drama involved in their relationship? The topic today is basically a friendship between a married person and a single person, and does it work um, for you? Are you guys, still maintaining that, respect towards each other? Do you guys have boundaries towards each other? Are you still maintaining that friendship, with respect, and also understanding that they're not the same person that they were when they were single? Nothing changes except when they have children, you know, and also they have to get through their partner in regards to certain things. Like I said before, I can take a random trip right now and say, I just want to fly to Greece. But a married person is not just going to wake up and say, oh, I just want to fly to Greece. Unless you're some type of billionaire or millionaire. But even though you would be a billionaire or a millionaire, you still, if you had a partner or a significant other, you still have to talk to your partner before you take the trip, just out of respect for the other person. So, how has your relationship changed? when your friends got married? Did they give you the eyeball, or you guys were still friends? Like I said, I'm friends with my married friends, and I think I do pretty well with my married friends than with my single friends. Perfectly. I just feel like we get along so well, and there is just that mutual understanding and respect that I get from my married friends. I think all of my friends are married, to be honest. Most of those that are really close to me, those that I can talk to, pray with, and we share some intimate stuff together, they are married. You know, as for single people, I feel like they're very emotional, and everything is taken too personal. You know, their thinking capacity is a little bit more on the sensitive side as opposed to a married person. When a person gets married, I think they go through so many things in a marriage, not evil, but like I think they go through a stage of growth, because you can imagine living with somebody for the rest of your life, forever and ever, in the same house. Obviously, you get to learn a lot of things about yourself, how you don't like the toilet sit up, for example, how your husband's just gonna throw his socks anyhow and not put them in the laundry basket, for example. How those things, like, you married to, things change, and I think they have this growth to them that makes them more understanding and more empathetic than a single person. You talk to a single person right now, for example, and not everyone, let me be clear, not everyone, some of the single person, let me rephrase that, some of the single people, um, they behave that way. So you would go to a single person, and let's just say, for example, you move into a new town and they're your friends, right? And you talk about God and how much they love God, and they'll be preaching the word of God to you, honey. You know what I mean? Those spirit-filled Christians that be talking in tongues, and they talk to you about Jesus, and they know what John the Baptist stood for. I mean, those deep Christians, yes. You would talk to them, and maybe you just move into a town and you say, hey, do you have, for example, an apartment, and I'm looking for a housemate or a roommate? Even if they have that availability to have a roommate, they are not just going to take you in and accept you as their roommate. Do you know what they're going to tell you? Oh, I'll be praying for you. It is well with you. What is it with Christians though? What is the it is well part? Can anybody explain that to me? What is it is well? Like, yes, I get it is well, but if somebody is in the cold, it is winter time, it is snowing badly outside, and you have 10 winter jackets, and the person is freezing, they don't have a winter jacket, they're not able to afford one, and they are walking in the snow, and you have maybe 5 pairs of boots that you don't wear every day. You mean you're just going to look at the person and say, oh, that is so sad. You look it's so sad to see that man or that woman walking in the snow. Oh, it is well. I'll pray for that person. Do you think that is wisdom, though? I feel like Jesus was more of an action person. He would rebuke people, but he rendered the help to people. Christians of these days, they are more on the side where they say, it is well. I'll be praying for you. There is nothing wrong with prayer. Trust me. That's why the Bible talks about faith without works is dead. Just the same way, you're not going to be a believer and say, the hungry are hungry, but I'm just going to say a prayer for the hungry so that the hungry have food. It doesn't make sense. It's the same concept that happens with other believers, where if somebody is hungry, well, somebody is doesn't have a winter jacket, and you say, I'm gonna pray for them, and then you have 10 jackets in your closet that probably you wear one, that's your favorite jacket, and the rest of them you wear them only once in a blue moon. You mean you can't just get one of your jackets and give it to the person that needs it the most? and one of the pairs of boots, if it's their shoe size and you give it to them, there's nothing wrong with that. Are you going to tell that person, oh, it is well, I hope that it gets well for you? I remember in Maryland, my pastor always initiated these outreaches where, you know, we'll go out in the community, and, as a church, everybody will bring in things like scarves, gloves, winter jackets, different kinds of things that people can actually use. So different sizes, large, small, it it's really up to you. And then uh, as a church, we would pick a day and go into the community, and also would have like food too. And then we would go in the community and we would have an outreach. And, even as you speak to the people about Jesus, they actually believe that Jesus is love, because you are showing and demonstrating what love is, which a lot of believers don't have. A lot of believers have a lot of it is well in their mouths, and I will pray for you kind of Christianity. They'll say, no, it's gonna be fine. I'll be praying for you, and they want you to be more involved with what they believe in. But when you speak up about what you believe in, they walk away, they run away. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm so busy. They become busy when it's your turn, to have an exchange from them. But when it's their turn, oh, you have the time. But when it's your turn, they're not available, or, they're not able to avail themselves. So, but anyway, the issue here is not that. I think I went off topic about Christianity. That's a whole different topic. But I was just trying to make a point about friendship. How has your friendship changed as your friends got married? Do you guys still get along, or, things are still the same? Just like I said, I have a great friendship with my friends, and I think I do really well with my married friends because, I don't know, I just think we particularly get along very well. So, what do you think? Like, how has your friendship changed? How has your friendship changed? Is everything still the same? I'm just curious. Like, do you still have like the same type of friendship? What's your relationship with your married friends now? Are they still the same? Have they changed? Have their perspective about you changed? Are they more like on the reserved side? Or, they're still the funky person that you knew? What has changed? Tell me, what has changed with your friendships? What has changed? What are the things that, when you look at your married friend, you're like, oh my God, you've really changed. You're turning into a grandma, and it's more of the responsibility. And not to say that they don't clean up good. They do. It's just, honey, they have so much going on. They don't have time like you do now that you're single. What has changed with your married friends? I have married friends and things are going pretty good with them. Nothing changed. They're still wonderful friends to me. Like I said, I think I do pretty well with my married friends than with my single friends, because I feel like single friends are more sensitive. You can't really go out of a conversation without them being sensitive about some issue. Not everyone, but some of them, without them being offended about something you did, or, there's always that type of holding grudges on each other. It's just ridiculous. So with me, I think it works so much better with my my married friends. So I don't know. I just wanted a view from you guys. How has your relationship changed since that one particular friend or those two particular friends got married? Are you still friends? Do you still feel comfortable being friends with your married friends? If you're married, are you still comfortable being friends with your single friends? And when you're single, are you comfortable being friends, excuse me, with your married friends? What is your narrative? How do you feel about still being friends with your single friends? Do you guys still maintain a relationship? Have things changed? Is it still the same? Do you still get along pretty well? What's your perspective? What's your view about it? Anyway, basically that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I don't want to get into this live stream and have it longer than I wanted it to be. I just wanted to do a short talk with you guys, an interaction kind of thing where, you guys just share your views on how you guys still relate with your married friends as opposed to the single friends, to see if, people are still friends with each other once they get married. Or when you are single, are you comfortable being friends with your married friends now? Have things changed? Are you the same? Are they the same? So basically, that's what I want to talk about. And I have shared my view because most of my friends are married, and they're really wonderful. And I think I appreciate them more than anything, because I just feel like there's been this growth with me. Having them around has been a blessing. So I'm happy. So I don't know about you guys. So whenever the live stream is over, you're more than welcome to share your view, your perspective on your relationship with your single friends or your married friend. Let's see if people still maintain relationships when they get married. So if you have not subscribed, honey, what are you waiting for? Make sure you subscribe to My Life Gang and share. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you to everyone that joined my stream. Have a good night. Bye.